Much needed victory for the San Francisco 49ers, and it came in a dominating fashion. We're going to react to it all. We're going to break it down. The San Francisco 49ers take the Jags and put them in the wood chipper. Exactly what we needed from this team. Heading out of the bye, we're about to talk about it all right now, but you already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat. Smash that like button and let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. All right, we've got a big W coming in for the San Francisco 49ers. The W, that much needed W that the 49ers so desperately needed after that 3-game skid. No, not anymore. The San Francisco 49ers absolutely dominate the Jags, and they go to town on them. 34-3. Could have been even a bigger score, but the 49ers are trying to get CMC the record at the end. That's probably the only unfortunate thing to really come out of this game, was that we just didn't get the CMC record break at the end. However, though, the San Francisco 49ers, this game couldn't have gone any better for what they needed to do to kind of prove to themselves that they needed to get back on track, and how they needed to get back on track. Not just the W, but how they got the W speaks volumes to the San Francisco 49ers, and how they're going to be able to move forward, and what the expectation for this team is moving forward. This was the team that we've all expected. We know that the San Francisco 49ers can play this type of ball. They can get after it. And that's what they did. 49ers across the board dominated. Offense, defense, special teams played absolutely exceptional. We can highlight individual players that played well, and we'll do that. But my goodness, did this team absolutely just play complete ball. It wasn't perfect across the board, but when it comes to complementary football, that's what we got out of this team today. Offense, defense, special teams, all over the field. I do want to talk about the defense because, hey, man, the defense has been under fire, right? Quite a bit. They have been it's been like, where's that defense that we've all come to know and appreciate? And where's that group? Well, they showed up today, absolutely dominated the Jaguars offense. Only 3 points for the Jags on the day, and it really came off that one drive. The Jags only had one really quality drive. Other than that, 49ers handled business on defense. Got to shout out the defensive line. The defensive line went crazy. We had obviously Chase Young inserted into the mix. Chase Young went crazy. Bosa went crazy. Eric Armstead went crazy. The boys went after it. We had Eric Armstead sack. We had sacks by Eric, Cleveland, Hargrave, Bosa, Young. The boys feasted. And that was kind of what the hope was with the addition of Chase Young to the 49ers defense. And man, he made an impact, made his presence felt. And it all started up front with the 49ers defensive line. Even Javon Kinlaw was playing well up front. So, got to give a lot of credit to that defensive line. They played exceptionally well, but it wasn't just them. Linebackers played well. Fred Warner gets the interception. Again, shout out to Hargrave on the pressure, which forced the INT. But the San Francisco 49ers really got after the Jags in a phenomenal fashion. You got Talanoa Hufanga coming away with the interception. You had Ambry Thomas coming away with the turnover, which we thought was going to be a touchdown, but you had all the players hop onto the field, including Kyle Shanahan. But man, it was such a good performance to see the defense and how they responded, especially with Steve Wilks. All the stuff we've heard about Steve Wilks, the big deal from going from the booth to the sideline. It seemed to work out. And it was great to see Steve Wilks on the sideline with the defenders after they made plays. Really good performance by the defense as a whole. Again, we've talked about the plays that have been made. But coaching down on the defense, they played really well. I thought I mentioned the Fred Warner pick. If I didn't, that's my bad. Not only that, Charvarius Ward had that really nice PBU to keep a touchdown off the board. The boys were getting after it today, and it really translated in the form of complimentary football, which is something that I've been talking about these last 3 weeks, that I felt like the 49ers have kind of gotten away from. Just not offense, not complementing the defense, and vice versa. But boy, did we get that today as the 49ers absolutely dominated on all sides of the football. Even Mitch Wishnowsky. We got a Mitch Wishnowsky coffin punt on the 1 yard line. Jake Moody made both of his kicks. So it was a full team effort today. Full team win. And boy, was it a good one. Let's talk about the offense. Brock Purdy balled out today with 3 touchdowns. He had no interceptions, 296 yards, completing 19 of 26 pass attempts. He had a passer rating of 148.9. I thought the sickest Brock Purdy play was the one where you had the defender in his lap, and he kind of had a fade, and he just laid it up for George Kittle to run under, scoop it up, and run in for a touchdown. Man, what a good performance by the offense. Again, we could nitpick, but we're not going to nitpick right now. I thought they played exceptionally well. Also, I mean, again, Brock Purdy's first touchdown of the game, which was that kind of scramble to the left, have 2 defenders barreling down on him, and he's able to loft it over them, throws into traffic across his body, hits Brandon Ayuk for a touchdown. So I'm very impressed by the San Francisco 49ers offense, defense, special teams, everyone. Kittle had a day. We had a Kittle touchdown. We had a Ayuk touchdown, and we had a Kyle Juszczyk touchdown. And as I say, talk about the difficulty of the Brock Purdy throw, I see Matt Mayoko describe Brock Purdy's first touchdown pass as one of the worst decisions he's made since he's been here. Glad Kyle's going to hold these guys' feet to the fire, not let them off too good. But hey, Brock was able to do it. It is a risky throw, throwing back across your body, but Brock has a bit of that gunslinger in him, and I'm all for it. It's nice having a quarterback with that type of mentality out here as we continue to try to get back on track and really uh put this thing back on the rails where it needs to be. So very, very appreciative of the way the 49ers played ball today. Um Honestly, I, they couldn't have like I said, you can nitpick, but man, you could not put together a better performance against one of the AFC's hottest teams. Jags were coming in 5-0 off the bye, except one team showed up ready to go. One team showed why, hey, we had that little skid there, but that's not exactly who we are. We are a team that knows who they are, and they just have to get back to their ways. So, this is a good sign for the San Francisco 49ers moving forward. We got Tampa Bay next week, and the 49ers should be able to continue this momentum moving forward. Yeah, what a win. What a win. What would you guys grade this W? Drop it in the chat. What you guys think this grade should be for this game. I know what my grade is, but I wanted to see what you guys are thinking in regards to grades for this 34-3 butt whooping by the San Francisco 49ers. So far, I see a lot of A's. Lot of A's, lot of A pluses. Got an A minus, but I see a lot of A's, a lot of A pluses. I would be shocked to see anyone give this game anything other than an A. If you give this a B or below, I have questions for sure. My grade for this game is an A plus because I'm not giving them an A plus because they were perfect in this game. I do think there are things that we can look at. I think there are things that we can identify where they could still improve upon and still get better. But let's think of all of it, right? Let's think of everything that went into play into this game. Losing 3 games in a row the way that they lost. All the pressure on Steve Wilks and this 49ers defense. People questioning Brock Purdy. I heard some people call for Sam Darnold potentially to come in and start over Purdy. Is where that the conversation started to head to for some people. And I think when you take all the pressure and you take all the noise and you take all the circumstances with the San Francisco 49ers losing 3 games in a row, all of it, and then coming out and dominating to the fashion of the San Francisco 49ers getting 34 points, putting 34 points on the number 3 ranked defense in the NFL, which prides itself on turning over the football. I'm impressed, man. I thought this was going to be a closer game. I think my final score prediction was 24-21. Like I came into this game anxious. I came into this game like, what version of the 49ers are we going to get out of the bye? Have a lot of faith and a lot of belief, just didn't know. And that's why for me, this is an A+ game because they answered a lot of questions. They dominated. Like, how often do teams just flat out dominate in the NFL? It doesn't happen all that often. Jags offense couldn't do anything. The defense holding them to 3 points is huge considering all the flack the defense has gotten over these past 3 weeks. That's why it's an A+ to me. Was like I said, it's not a perfect game. There's still things that they can fix and clean up and do things a little bit differently. But again, it's the noise, it's the way everything was heading into this game. Again, the nature of how good the Jags have been this season, all of it combined, A+ win for the San Francisco 49ers in a game that they had to have, because I can guarantee you if the 49ers lost this game, it would be pandemonium. People would be ripping each other to shreds. Um, People would be trying to fire everyone. So this was a clutch win, happened in a clutch way. Boy, did we need this W, man. We needed this dub so bad in the worst way. And again, how they won is also a huge point of emphasis for why, in my opinion, this is an A+ game for the San Francisco 49ers. A+. Chase Young, how dope was it to see Chase Young in a 49ers uniform? He looks like he's been a Niner all along. Absolutely love it. Brandon, appreciate the $20 super chat. Says, I was at the game. It was 70% Niner fans. Chase Young is huge. Thomas for Oliver was key. That was one of the big adjustments heading into this game, is that we saw Oliver taken off the field. They moved Ambry Thomas into the game for an adjustment, and they kicked Diamador Lenore into the nickel. And as a result, Ambry did all right. Ambry had that big turnover, right? So Ambry had that big play in the red zone area and did pretty good. Dak just threw a pick 6 apparently. So we like that. Who are the Cowboys playing? I've been so locked in on the 49ers. I don't know what's going on across the league right now. But that was a beautiful team win. Much needed team win. Everyone was balling. Playing against the Giants. Yikes. They're playing the Giants. What's the score? Give me score updates. I'm here for all the Cowboys slander imaginable. If Dak Prescott loses to a quarterback name, is his name Danny DeVito? I don't know. His last name's DeVito. I forget what his first name was. But Danny DeVito's what comes to mind. It's a tie game. Okay. All right. So we see it. But man, I feel great with this W. Something that I think the fan base needed, the team needed. This is the kind of realignment that this team needed to get it all back on track. The San Francisco 49ers heading into Tampa Bay with all the momentum headed back home. That's going to be huge. And the San Francisco 49ers have a big chance to get and reinsert themselves back into the conversation of going after the 1 seed. Obviously, they fall behind a little bit with the little skid that they had, but they have a huge, huge opportunity to continue to push as best they can to put themselves in a favorable spot um, in the NFC seeding. Playoff talk is back, baby. Playoff talk is back. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Question about Brock Purdy and his performance. Like I said, a lot of people were starting to pile on Brock Purdy. A lot of people were starting to kind of question Brock Purdy, which I didn't necessarily believe, because when you look at the last 3 games and how Brock Purdy played, I would say the worst game he played was against the Browns, but he still put them in a position to win that game in the end. And then when you looked at Brock Purdy's play against the Minnesota Vikings and the Bengals, he was cooking in those games. He was playing really well, but obviously all the focus is going to go to the late game turnovers, and it makes it really easy for people to be like, well, Brock's not that good. He throws interceptions, et cetera, et cetera. And when I was watching the tape, it's really hard to watch. Like, if you actually watch Brock Purdy and you try to evaluate his game from a tape perspective, it's really hard to think that Brock is the guy that's the problem. Now, obviously, any quarterback, you don't want to turn over the ball. That's like the number one thing that they got to do and take care of. But he's played so well this season. Um, I think this might have been his 17th game. I'm not really sure. Someone confirm in the chat if this is his 17th start, marking a full calendar season of starts under his belt. What Brock Purdy is doing at his age, underneath these circumstances, coming back from the UCL surgery, all of it. Brock is playing phenomenally well. Brock, to me, is not the problem for and never was. And to see Brock come out here, throw 3 touchdowns, play really well, take care of the football. I mean, that's exactly what I was expecting from Brock. I was expecting this type of play from Brock, and we got it. And just again reiterates that Brock is for real, and Brock Purdy is the guy that could absolutely take this team far. So I'm excited by the way Brock played. I'm excited with how and again, this was a good defense too. Let's not forget that. This was a good defense that the 49ers played against, and Brock Purdy picked them apart, man. Um, so we know the battle is going to rage. People are going to argue about the 49ers quarterback till the end of time. But all I can say right now is that my belief in Brock Purdy continues. I believe that as long as Brock is the quarterback for the 49ers can win any game that they are in. And he's played exceptionally well. I'm very pleased with Brock, and never once have thought he has been the problem for the 49ers. Justin says, gotten here late, but excited for the win. Rush looked noticeably better with Chase Young. Yes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Chase Young, man, just really injected life into the opposite side of the San Francisco 49ers pass rush, which we've talked about for a couple months now feels like they've just been missing. They've just been lacking the speed to help supplement the rest of the rushers on the other side, and Chase Young just really inserting himself immediately into the defensive line, and how just effective and dominant he was right off the bat. Um, 49ers, we already knew they won the trade right away, but now that you've seen Chase Young play, they've absolutely, absolutely, um, absolutely won that trade. I mean, a comp third for a player like Chase Young, who has just instantly come in and showed his domination. I think in the sack that he had, one of the things that we identified, I did a little video on YouTube when I was kind of breaking down what I think Chase is going to bring to the table, and it's his counter inside move. What Chase does is he threatens outside speed, and when the tackles start to open up their gate and they swing their gate open, meaning opening up their hips to the outside to try to stop the speed, he is able to cut and counter with like this quick jab swipe, and he goes right across the tackle's face to the inside path to the quarterback. And fantastic. Like that, we've needed that speed on the edge, and we got it. We got it for a comp third. We're gonna look back at this trade. I think, again, as long as Chase can stay healthy and all of that, we're gonna look back at this trade and we're gonna be like, how did the 49ers steal Chase Young and insert him into this defense? Absolutely insane what Chase Young has already shown he is going to provide for the 49ers, man. Like instant juice he provided. Instant juice. Sideline Steve Wilks. Man, the defense looked motivated. The defense looked hungry today. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Today was a great one. Great win. Not only was it a must win, it was a great win. What about the five-man front? Oh, the five-man front is nasty. I like the five-man front. I want to see the 49ers continue with it. I want to see the 49ers five-man front continue to thrive. Get Kinlaw in there. Kinlaw has been underrated, I think, as a pass rusher for the 49ers. He's played pretty well. Again, doesn't have like a ton of stats to back it up or anything, but if you watch the tape, he shows up. I love it, man. We're back. We're back, baby. Don't let the haters punch in air right now. 49ers doubters, 49ers haters, just straight up punching air right now. They're coping big time with this performance by the San Francisco 49ers. They're coping hard. It's okay. They'll be all right. They're going to wait and they'll prey on the 49ers another time, but today's not that day. They don't get to prey on the San Francisco 49ers. They looked phenomenal today. And the best part is they have room to improve in multiple areas, but that's the thing. One of the things that I talked about at the beginning of the season, when we watched them, in training camp and throughout, was the only team that is beating the San Francisco 49ers is the 49ers. They have all the talent, they have the coaching, they have everything they need on this roster. The only thing that's stopping them, is their execution and potentially injuries. And we saw what a healthy 49ers looks like. Deebo Samuel comes back, scores a touchdown. Who did he score a touchdown behind? He scored a touchdown behind Trent Williams. You get healthy, you get back, you see what happens. I thought Jonathan Feliciano did a pretty decent job of filling in for Aaron Banks. So I like it. I like where we're at. It's a good spot to be in for the 49ers. Good spot to be in for 49er fans. And we are back on track, which is the biggest takeaway, is that this team desperately needed to get back to playing complementary football, and they did just that. They got back to playing offense, defense, special teams, all aiding and helping each other in coming together for a successful performance against a good Jags team. And I think that needs to continue to be hammered home. This Jags team was good. This is one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. 5 games in a row the Jags have won, and they got absolutely erased by the San Francisco 49ers. It was a beautiful performance by everyone involved. 3 touchdowns for Brock Purdy. Defense balled. Great day. Great day. I can't wait to break down the film. We're gonna get back to breaking down the tape this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be some fun tape to break down. So hopefully you guys are ready for the film breakdown. Hopefully you guys are ready to get back to regularly scheduled programming. I'm looking forward to it. Boxing Fan says no more double teams for Bosa. They're going to have to think twice about double teaming Bosa. They for sure are going to have to think twice about double teaming Bosa in the future. Arguably one of the most underrated storylines in the NFL or in this game. Gray Fox says bulky punching air right now. Phenomenal. As someone who absolutely despises Trent Baalke, I couldn't be happier about that. I really couldn't. There really aren't too many players, coaches, general managers that I come across that I just don't like. I don't like Trent Baalke, and I don't like him with a passion. And so anytime we can get back against someone like Trader Trent Baalke, let's go. I'm here for it. I can't stand Baalke, man. I can't stand Baalke, man. Funny story. I was at the combine, and Baalke, general managers, coaches speak at the combine. He had his podium, and I just walked right up to his podium, standing about 5 feet away from Baalke. And I'm just like, I was just in my head, just like thinking of all the draft picks, all the ACL injuries, the way his 49ers tenure ended. And I was just standing there. I was like, man, I'm so glad you're not with us anymore. And then I just walked away. I wasn't gonna make a scene, wasn't gonna do anything like that, but I was just like, man, I'm so glad you are not with the Niners anymore. And we have a real general. I love John Lynch. I don't know how people slander John Lynch. I think John Lynch has been a phenomenal GM for the San Francisco 49ers. And again, you just look at his track record with trades. Um, in-season trades have been phenomenal. Again, you're not going to bat 1,000. You're not going to hit on everything. But I love what John Lynch has done with the San Francisco 49ers, continues to do. His aggressiveness in, hey, you're not going to hit on everyone, and his ability to make adjustments and move on, like going and get Randy Gregory, going and getting Chase Young. That's huge. Absolutely huge, for sure. So, big fan of what Lynch has done with the 49ers. And you can already see Chase Young's performance paying off hugely for the 49ers, man. Gotta love it. I'm going to tap out on IG. I'm still over here on YouTube. I'm going to kick it on YouTube for a little bit more. If you guys want to transfer over from IG, the SF Niners on YouTube. But shout out to everyone who tapped in on IG. I'm going to close it down for now, but we're going to be posting content and looking forward to some Victory Monday. Much needed Victory Monday coming tomorrow. All right. Closing down IG. Okay, we're out of here. IG's closed down. Oh, boy, it feels good. Feels good to win. Feels fantastic. Feels wonderful. Oh, man. Needed it. Needed it in the worst way. What is some of your guys' takeaways from the game? Drop it in the chat. What are some of your guys' takeaways of this performance? Maybe I skimmed over, didn't spend enough time on. What are some of your big? I'm multitasking like a son of a gun, by the way. As you guys know, I did the stream on Bleacher Report after, so I'm like behind the 8 ball on everything. But we grind regardless. We grind regardless. No time to complain when the San Francisco 49ers dominate. No time at all to complain. I don't know. I think if you find yourself complaining about this game in some form or fashion, that's probably a pretty good indication of you're just a pessimistic, just unhappy human being. When it comes down to it, if anyone is going to try to, like, you can find nitpicks, and there are things they can improve on, but if you actually are focusing on that, you're just an unhappy person. It's just what it comes down to. Hopefully everyone is enjoying the game and enjoying the win and all this stuff. Yeah, I said on the Bleacher Report stream who was the MVP of the game. I gave the MVP to the D-line. I thought this was a crucial game, crucial performance for the defensive line to come out and ball. And I really just thought that the defensive line balled out and we needed them to ball out. We needed these boys to ball in the worst way possible. And so very, very happy with their performance with everyone else. Main thing about the W MVP is Purdy. I thought Purdy played really well. Purdy played phenomenally. I agree. Defensive line just adds gas. Adds gas to the mix and gets everyone going. For sure. For sure. So, today was a great day. Today was a great performance. Man, felt good. Felt good. Let's see. Who else balled? Ayuk balled. We got a Hufunga INT. That was nice. We got a Kyle Juszczyk touchdown. But man, boys balled. It's funny when like one of the negative things that you can take away, like if you want to even call it negative, is like, oh, Christian McCaffrey didn't break the record. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were I have to say though, even though Christian McCaffrey didn't break the record, oh, right on cue. Right on cue. I loved that they had him out there and they were doing everything they could to get him the touchdown. I loved it. I felt like that's like, it didn't happen, but it wasn't due to lack of trying. Like the fact that they had the opportunity, the fact that they were trying to get it for him. They went for it on fourth down in a situation that you would consider a team going for it on fourth down up 34 points to a team that only has 3, that they're running up the score and all that stuff. I love I love that they went for it and they were force feeding CMC. I feel like that's like one of those things that like the locker room appreciates, you know? Like I think that's something players like see their coach, you know, going all out for their guy and just really putting them in a good spot. And seeing that effort, I think that provides some juice. So I loved it. They didn't get it, but I loved the idea of it for sure. I got one eye on Washington and Washington Commanders versus Seattle right now. That game is an field goal fest. It looks like 9-6, and the Seahawks are trying to score to end the game, or not end the game, to end the half. About 3.5 minutes left in the half. Oh, I feel good. I feel good. I feel great. I'm very looking forward to getting into this tape. I'm excited to break this down. I'm excited to watch it back. This is going to be a fun one to watch back. Y'all better be ready for film breakdowns. As long as the tape comes on time, we should be breaking down. We should be breaking down the offense tomorrow. So against the Bengals, it was super delayed for some reason, and it just never happened because we went right into the trade deadline on Halloween, and then I left for the bye. So we just never broke down the Bengals tape. But I'm very excited to get back in and break the tape down. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be doing an offensive film breakdown of this game. Thomas jumped himself out of my doghouse. Yeah, really can't say anything bad about Ambry. Ambry played well. Ambry played well. Wilkes being on the sideline is a huge part. That's what it feels like, man. It definitely does. It definitely does. So we back, baby. We back. Run and tell them we back. 49ers ready, baby. Ready to go. Just love it. Love it, love it, love it. We back, baby. Feels good to be healthy. Feels good to dominate. Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate everyone tapping in. I'm going to be posting content for the rest of the night, all that good stuff. But much needed win. Much needed win. Dominating fashion. Appreciate all you guys for tapping in. I'm out of here for now. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Let's go for Victory Monday. Yeah. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to